actually driving around trying to get a good backdrop.
Ready?
For our video podcast. Can you hear me now?
Talk again.
Rob said that smells like his cat.
I can't hear you.
Anyway, so why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Jason.
I'm David.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Jason. Jason, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a resident at the House of Refuge. Currently resident at the House of Refuge. I just was in need of a second chance, a place to stay. I came down to stay with some friends, and I was tricked into giving them the last of my money and put out in the street.
Oh.
And the House of Refuge took me in and gave me a second chance.
That's pretty awesome. Where are you from?
Originally from New Jersey, been in Virginia for about 15 years.
How'd you find your way here?
Just friends, separated from the wife, and came down here to get out of the state, start over, and turned out that it jumped out of the frying pan into the fire.
Happens too easily sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you like North Carolina?
Yes, very much. At one time, New Jersey was home. It stopped being home for a while, and North Carolina is very welcoming. It's a lot better definitely a lot better than New Jersey.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
The people are nice. You
Very
can't go anywhere else, I don't think, in the world and just ride down the road and people are waving at you, don't even know.
I've never been there. I've seen it on TV. That's about it.
Yeah, you don't get that in Jersey.
They have a lot of gardens there, I heard.
So
It's a garden state, isn't it?
It's a lot of farmland, but gardens, I don't really remember too many gardens. I know it's called the Garden State.
Yeah. It is the
but
Garden State.
It's misleading.
The gardens
it's
are all
very
gone.
misleading. Yeah.
It got that name a long time ago.
Maybe they missed
Overgrown.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is you can't turn left there.
That's right. That's right. So tell us about your situation and kind of, what you're doing to transition, if you're going to transition, what's...
Well, I was lucky enough to a couple of weeks into my stay, I went to Ingles to get some change for the bus and ran into the deli manager, and come to find out that they were hiring. I contacted my chef I used to work in a restaurant. I contacted the chef from our previous position. He offered to write me a reference, so I came back to give a thank you card to the manager, which gave me the interview, and he informed me that I was already hired. So I've been working over the last month or so, just trying to put some money away, and then hopefully I'll be able to get on my feet in a couple of weeks and get a place.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How important are emergency shelters?
Oh, very important. It's everyone is usually either 1 or 2 paychecks from needing help. Either it's going to be an emergency help, or it's going to be just some type of a shoulder.
Yeah.
It's the days of being able to go by your word and your savings has gone with my parents. Their days of old are just different, and it's unfortunate that we're actually working just to pay the money that we owe currently.
Yeah, oh yeah. So now you're currently employed then, right?
Yes.
And that's in Ingles?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
And having a place to stay, I'm sure it's helped all that tremendously.
Oh yes, very much.
It's got to be hard to do. If you
Very
don't have a
much.
place
I
to
wasn't
stay.
sure where I was going to sleep that night.
And there's been times, I'm guessing, that you've had no place at all, like for decent periods of time, or?
No, actually, I've been quite fortunate. My stint of being homelessness strictly with no place to go was about 3 hours.
Oh, that's
So like I said, I woke up that morning, didn't have any place to go, and then by that afternoon, I was at the house of refuge.
I got you.
So I was very fortunate. I've heard there's been some horror stories of people staying under the bridge, staying
Yeah, we've
in the
seen
car,
some of that. It's
and it's just heartbreaking.
it just wanted to keep going.
It did. It wanted to keep going.
It wasn't as bad as the Bronco I used to have. It'd go for a minute and a half or so.
That's pretty awesome. So, in Morganton, we've got a lot of conversation, a lot of polarizing banter on a lot of the local forums that are discussing the state of homelessness in our community. And I think there's a lot of misnomers out there. You guys set people straight. Would you agree that maybe the term homeless is an improper label? Because I noticed, like on the news, you might get, it's almost a stereotype, you might get a homeless person committed a crime. Mm-hmm. And it puts a label. Everybody thinks, a lot of people think that if you're homeless, you're addicted to drugs, you're an alcoholic, you're mentally ill. There are different facets of homelessness, right?
There are. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we deal with it. You know, me being the manager at the house, we see it. We deal with it in many different ways and everything else. And it's homelessness is, I guess, on different levels. I mean, you've got the ones that you just, for whatever circumstance, life threw you a curveball that you couldn't deal with, and you lose it all, and now you've got nothing, and you know it takes a while to get back on your feet. You got others that have been chronically homeless that they just don't want to deal with society.
So how do you deal with that? Because, you know, in Morganton, we have those folks a lot of times because maybe there is some mental illness, right, involved, and they self-medicate with drugs or alcohol, and that compounds an issue. But it's also the person that is giving the label and the bad name to everybody that's homeless.
Right.
You know? And it's hard enough to be homeless and try to get your way out of that hole. But it's even harder when you've got people who are committing crimes and things in our community, and that label of homeless is kind of a blanket, right? You end up owning their problems.
Well, yeah, once you get that stereotype, you are thrown into the deep end of the pool.
What would be a good term? What would be a name? What would you call yourself?
Back in the years before, there were different terminology. There was hobo, there was tramp, things like that. Because there were people that wanted, that's the lifestyle they chose, and that was what it was. And then there's the ones that were just like, I don't want to be here, but this is where I am right now. You know, and then you get the mental illness in there as well. We've kind of, the nomenclature has changed, and it's just gone to homeless, which is very broad, but it is not as specific enough. But
society has done that with a lot of language and everything else, and it's, you know, it's just so easier to group people into categories and to create the divide with a lot of things.
That doesn't hit here, in your heart as much. You know, if I can just, broad term across the board, versus, I can see a forest, the tree. I have to see the individual trees. That hurts more.
It does.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
I mean, it's like Jason and I have talked. I mean, our stories are somewhat similar and everything else. You know, the difference is he had a support group to help him get back on his feet, and I'm more or less doing it on my own. And trying to do it on my own, it's going to take me a while. But I know where I've been. I'll be back there one day again. Yeah. But it's just going to take me a little longer. But I'm not the homeless, as so to say, as what people define as the homeless people. Yeah. I'm not part of that genre. Yeah. You know. If you want to do a term, I'm residentially deficient. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, because that's the only thing I'm missing right now. Yeah. But it's going to take me a while to get back to that point that I can get back into a residence.
What are the things that help the most? Like I want to get to here. I guess just having that frame of mind, I guess, is one thing. Being like, I want to move forward.
You got to have someone to give you a chance. And that's the thing. You've got to get people that are able to see the tree and not the whole forest. And that's the thing is, so many people are so narrow-minded that all they do is they see that force and then won't look at the individual trait.
Right.
Oh my God, you're homeless, and
Yeah.
just think that whole.
Like I had somebody that was quote unquote homeless.
Yeah, you're one of those people
that did something to my property or something personally to me. They yelled at me or spit at me, whatever, and that taints it. It makes it difficult. Just like you see anybody, all of a sudden you're like, nope. Nope.
But it's like people have said before, and it's like it took me a while at first. It's like I was almost ashamed, but it's I'm in my situation. It's going to take me to get it out of it. It's your individual mindset, whether you're going to let life kick you and keep you down, or you're going to stand back up and fight.
And that's hard sometimes when it's done it over and over and over.
It is.
You try. You're trying to get somewhere, and something slaps you down again, and then your family, nope, not helping.
But
or
the
they
thing
don't
is,
exist.
society's got to realize it's like there's no wanted poster that will define that this is a homeless person, because you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got some people that work at Walmart. You got some people that work at Ingles. You got some people that work here. You just don't know.
Uh-huh.
So, what do we need to help people that are in your position that's not already there?
The biggest thing is housing.
Housing.
I mean,
Affordable housing.
Very affordable housing.
Right.
I mean, it's, the bad thing is once you get knocked down, you're not going to get back into that $35,000, $40,000 a year job again. You're not going to be back to making what you were made before you lost it all.
Right.
And, it takes a long time just to get deposits down. You got to have affordable housing.
Yeah.
And variable options. It's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Now, as far as people who are habitually homeless, is that an issue for you guys? Besides the fact that it creates a stigma, is there an issue with maybe resources that you guys don't have available to you that you would if there weren't people who were maybe perceived as abusing a system? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, you got a lot that do abuse the system and everything. And my own personal opinion is I think that's why society has liked it. The state government
from the top
state
to the bottom.
from the top down, I really think a lot of them prefer it.
Yeah.
To be within that system.
Yeah.
Because they can control it.
Doing as much as or as little as possible and getting.
That's the way they can. You can control population that way.
Yeah.
But you get the ones that want to do what they got to do to get back into that lifestyle, to get back into society. It's hard.
Yeah. Do you think there's a need for a bigger emergency shelter?
There
for
is.
more space?
Oh, there definitely is. With us being the only one in Morganton.
Yeah.
And the limited number of beds that we've got.
Yeah.
It's hard, but the bad thing is most of the homeless population within Morganton, because of our criteria and standards of alcohol-free, drug-free, etc., like that,
they don't qualify.
They don't qualify. They don't want to qualify.
Yeah.
They'd rather live their lifestyle their way.
Yeah.
So to get back into society standards, it's choices.
Yeah.
And they've made the choice of they'd rather live that way. They'd rather have that beer. They'd rather have their prescription drugs. They'd rather have the illegal drugs.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's choices.
And not worry about a place to live.
Yeah. I'd rather live in a tent and be able to drink 15 beers and stay warm that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a roof over my head and be sober.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem with society, because those are the people that you recognize as homeless.
Yes.
If you see him walking down the street and you see me walking down the street going to work, you wouldn't recognize me as homeless.
Exactly.
You would recognize him as homeless, and that's what the stereotype would stick.
Yeah.
So we're both homeless and we're both standing next to each other, but you're like, oh, don't stand so close to him because he's homeless. We're both homeless.
We're both homeless. And
Yeah,
people,
we're both homeless.
You're homeless?
Yeah. They don't see the...
Yeah, I'm not, that's what I'm saying. There's
the
no
spectrum.
stereotypical
So they're not all the same, right? Homeless people, it's not all the same.
It's not.
I think that's one of the biggest points that we need to continue to make, because it's like I said, when comments are made, it's like it on public forums and things like that, it just lights up with people that want to be derogatory a lot of times and group everybody together. And so unfortunately they scream loud enough that people listen, and it makes people reluctant to reach out sometimes.
But see, that's the thing, Jay. No matter what it is it's just like law enforcement officers, which I can say I got a 20-year background. All right, you've seen everything that's gone on the past 5-10 years and everything in the law enforcement community. You got the one bad apple.
Yeah.
That does something stupid.
But in everything.
And all of a sudden, in everything. That's all it is.
Yeah.
One bad person does something.
Yeah.
They're all bad.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but some things are...
One bad soldier does something stupid.
That's
all
right.
soldiers are stupid.
Some things are harder to look at, though.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's
but
that's not as pretty.
And that's what
I
you
can
get
deal
into.
with this over here because it's prettier than that.
Yeah.
You know, you hear a lot speaking about the public forums and people talking about having more I don't know, what do you the homes or places, to stay, making that bigger, that will draw in more people.
Yeah.
And it's going to bring in more people, so then we'll end up needing bigger, and then before long you're stadium size, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concern, and you hear that a lot. It's like, well, the more we help, the more we need to help, and that's
right. Do you think
like
that the fact that we're accommodating as a community, do you think that's making the numbers increase of the homeless?
To a point. I mean, one of the things I've heard for a few years now and everything else, it's like I heard Asheville and Charlotte were sending their homeless up here because of Grace Hospital having their behavioral health.
Right, and we don't know if that's true, but that's what we hear. We've heard that.
But it's I worked at the hospital years ago and all this other stuff, and it's like you hear that rumor come through.
Yeah.
That it's like we're getting an influx because they're trying to get rid of, but because we've got the behavioral health unit, because we've got Broughton, send them up that way.
Yeah.
But it's you see the ones that I've dealt with over the years when I did work there and stuff, that it's like they do a traveling circuit.
Yeah.
They're here for a little while, then they move on to the next time.
Yeah, transient. Yes.
You get the transients that come through.
Yeah.
But one of the other big things is talking about trying to build a bigger one as well. You get a lot of people, community-wise, that they want to help, and it's a good idea. We need to do more things. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then the minute it's like, okay, we're going to put it here. Oh, wait, not in my backyard.
Yeah.
We can't have it there. That's too close to my house. Oh, that's too close to my business. No, we can't have that. Well, where are you supposed to put it?
Yeah.
You've got people that are homeless, that don't have a job, that don't have transportation. So with the limited bus routes we have, we're not a big metropolis. We're not Asheville. We're not Charlotte. We don't have a big busing. So you're limited on their means and ways of being able to get to work and get a job.
Yeah.
But you want to put them way on the outskirts.
Yeah.
So it's you dang you do, you dang you don't.
Yeah.
I think some of the things that would help with people abusing the system would be communication between the resources.
And a lot of it.
Because I've seen people, they'll go to this church and just driving through town.
Yes.
And then I'd seen him in another one pulling in. I saw a guy on his bike the other day. He had just left one church that I was working at, and I happened to be going through town, and there he goes cruising to another one, and you kind of get a feel of what's going on. But it's like if there was communication, or better communication, or any communication, I guess it would help. Facilitate. That would make it easier for people that actually truly need it, and are not just out here.
Well, that was like
saying I want to be.
With the doctors finally did it with their file system being computerized. That it's like you go to this doctor, hey doc, I need prescription pain pills, bing bing bing. The next day they're at Dr. Rob, hey Dr. Rob, I need.
Yeah.
It's like finally they got it all centralized. That didn't you just go see Dr. So-and-so the other day? Bye, see ya.
Now, have either of you guys ever utilized any of the blessing boxes?
I have not.
You have not. Have you yet?
No.
Okay. There's actually one behind us here that's one of ours.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we offer. Ours is a little bit different. It's sort of a resource that's available to any member of the community. I don't care if you've got $1 million and you're hungry, you drive by, there's food in that box all the time. It's just a small pantry for anybody. But what we've got, or ours are kind of on the outskirts of Morganton in Burke County. They're a little harder to access, but they're still available. We find that there's a lot less abuse, if you will. You don't find trash around them and things like that, whereas the ones that are in the center of town are always a debate about, whether they should happen or not. And they're picked clean, which, again, in the spirit of giving, you shouldn't judge. If somebody drives up in a Mercedes and they want a can of Beanie Weenies, by gosh, let them have a can of Beanie Weenies. It's for anybody.
It kind of goes beyond that, though, because it goes, if you take all that away, it's the trash and the abuse that's left behind in the wake of, you don't know the circumstances, what happened and why the trash is there, why they dumped it in the bushes or whatever, but it is the part that makes it cringy. It's like, stop it. We're trying to...
Everybody gets an appearance, and, it's like, well, there's the box, but there's all the trash around it, so why should we fill it if they're going to do this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you got businesses that are, having issues with people, copulating, defecating, a lot of the ings.
Yeah.
And that's not, you can't,
in front of customers. Yes. It's been, that's one of the biggest things that we're dealing with, because you've got different facets of homelessness, and where you guys, the transitioning, that have the wherewithal to do the things that need to be done, you've got some that are just, whether it's medicated or whatever the case may be, they're using the bathroom in a corner of a dimly lit corner in a business in front of people. And it's the sort of thing they deal with a lot. And so one of the problems that we have is that we've got a lot of businesses and people in the community that we need their support, but it's hard to gain their support when they don't understand homelessness.
Because these few pissing them off.
Yes.
They go outside on a smoke break at their apartments in town, and there's people down there, mating, and you're like, hit them with a newspaper and stop it.
You're supposed to use cold water.
Is that spray it? Spray them with the water bottle. I'm like, there's a time and place, but
That's right. So those are some of the things that we're dealing with as a community that, we need to make people aware that not everybody is the same, and again, that's why I feel that the label is sort of wrong. There needs to be another word, I make the point a lot that homeless and houseless is not the same, right? There are people, there are older couples who are selling their homes and buying $200,000 motorhomes, and they're technically homeless because they don't have an address anymore, but they've got a house. You know what I mean? It just happens to have wheels, and it's in Florida today and Oklahoma in 2 weeks. And so by definition, they would be considered homeless. And you can't really, that's another, category that we need to consider.
Yeah, they need to change terminology one way or another somehow.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. I think you guys have given us a lot more insight. And these are things that people need to know, because it's like I said, it's a big topic in our community, and we want to make sure that the resources for people like you guys are always there. Like I said, I was in your position, he's been in your position. We're no stranger to not having a home.
I was in my car for a good while with just me and my dog and a blanket.
But it gets harder, with guys that are doing the transition, that are trying to do right. That because of the bottom of the barrel.
Yes. So
those are the people that need to be concentrated on first.
Yes.
You're like, I wanna go. I wanna get somewhere else. That's the people that need
absolutely.
You try to go get the help, and it's because of the bottom of the barrel stuff. It's like you get all grouped together.
Yes.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
No, I'm not him.
Yep.
Life threw me a curve and knocked me down. I'm trying to get back up. Stop kicking me.
That's right. Yeah. I agree.
My biggest thing, and I've said this phrase for so long, is like, I'm not asking for a handout. I'm asking for a hand up.
Hand up. That's right. That's right.
Especially my pride in that, to ask for help. Is huge.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing to do that somebody could do, thinking they're helping, but it's actually hurting? What do you think that, like if I was to do something to help somebody in my mind, but it's actually not? What do you think?
I'm not thinking.
It's...
Because I do believe that teaching somebody how to fish is a lot better than giving them.
That's right.
Giving them fish.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do need that fish to get through the day.
That's right.
So there are times when you're gonna need to learn how to fish, and there's times when you will accept that fish.
Oh, that's a great point. I've
That's
never
good.
thought of that. You need to give somebody that fish so they can sustain while you're teaching them to fish.
Yeah.
That's a damn good point.
It is.
That was good.
Never thought of that.
Because
Write that down somewhere. That's seriously some good stuff.
Because I would,
Jasonism.
Yeah.
because I would dare to stop anyone from trying to help. If you feel that you can help,
Help.
do that.
So what do you feel about
Yeah.
panhandling? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh God, there's so many different things. I've dealt with it on both levels. I've dealt with it of people coming up and asking for it,
Yeah.
and then I gotta get back. My car broke down. I need gas. I gotta get back to Tennessee, and then you see the same guy tomorrow asking you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how's your trip back to Tennessee yesterday?
So do you
gotta
think
go.
should you give
Yeah.
money to panhandlers or not?
I do. I mean, it's my personal thing, and the way I was giving it is, if you got a way to give, give.
Yeah.
And it's not my point to judge somebody.
That's right.
Let them deal with God.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I
they're
usually
gonna
go
lie,
with my gut feeling.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I'm
I
like,
think
you
it's-
can
I
kind of.
mean,
Individual.
the first time and all that stuff, I'll give you a shirt off my back. But if it's the second, third, and fifth time and stuff like that, I got no use for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna repeat the cycle on that. No, don't come back to me a second time with the same story.
Yeah. I agree.
I might not remember names, but I know faces
Yeah,
like
that's right.
somebody.
That's right.
But I'll try and help anybody I can.
I appreciate it. I think this was I learned a lot today.
I did.
That's good stuff. I'm about to
the
remember
fish
that.
thing was good.
Yes.
Write it down.
And the fact that we have the same name, I can
Copyrighted.
just put Jason under it, and they'll think it's me because that's really good stuff. I like
We'll
that.
let him steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put your last name on there too. But no, that's good stuff. And I think, like I said, our community is willing to learn. We've got a lot of people that want to be part of the solution.
Mhm.
They just need to know. And, it's all about education.
I'd say the biggest thing is one of the biggest things that a lot that we've dealt with, and this is an old saying my grandfather taught me. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
That's right.
And you've got some of them are so damn stubborn that they'll hold their head under water and drown themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
You can only help someone that wants to help themselves.
Yeah.
And the ones that want to help will ask for it.
Yeah.
So if someone's really asking for help them.
That's right. Yeah.
And if they're the ones that are doing the panhandling and for whatever, they got to deal with God.
That's right.
So be it.
Yeah.
But if you got the ways and means to help someone,
Do it. Yeah. Well, that's good. I appreciate it. Guess we'll go ahead and conclude our
Thank you again.
appreciate it.
podcast.
Thank you. This is nice meeting you.
Thank you.
And this time the studio was my Jeep.
Mobile.
Works pretty good, man.
In
It's,
case we're not seen again,
yeah. It's a little creepy, isn't it?
I'm surprised nobody's come up through all the foggy windows and knocked and been like, what are you four grown men doing in that Jeep?
I've written help on the window.
There you go, right help.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it.